Hello and welcome to Face with Mr. Saurabh Kumar, Senior General Manager, Ordnance Factory, Ambajari, Nagpur. Ordnance factories and SAIL are two giants in the Indian manufacturing landscape. In fact, they remain giants for last couple of decades, for more than 5 decades. While ordnance factories have made us self-reliant in defense, SAIL has all along been its trusted steel supplier. The past, present and the future relationships with ordnance factories is going to be the point of discussion today with Mr. Saurabh Kumar. Let me first have the privilege of introducing Mr. Saurabh Kumar. Mr. Saurabh Kumar is a distinguished alumnus in mechanical engineering from the reputed IIT Roorkee, passed out in 1980. Then did his MTech from IIT Kanpur and subsequently did his MPhil in public administration from Punjab University, Chandigarh. He joined ordnance factories in 1982, has occupied several posts in different locations of the ordnance factories, and today he is one of the senior most general managers of ordnance factory at Ambajari, Ambajari at Nagpur. Very erudite person, very knowledgeable person. He is visiting today Durgapur, and we take this privilege of having an interview with Mr. Saurabh Kumar. First of all, sir, we extend a warm and hearty welcome to you to Durgapur and to DSTV Center.
Thank you very much.
Sir, Alloy Steels plant has been supplying to ordnance factories for quite a long time, almost for 5 decades. It has got the specialization in making special steels for the defense sector. First, so far the past is concerned, how has been your experience with the supply from ASP in particular and SAIL in general?
See, Ordnance Factory Ambajari has been purchasing the billets for artillery shell manufacturing, for the mortar bombs and for the tank ammunition, all from the SAIL, and most of that from the alloy steel plant Durgapur.
Okay.
When our product profile diversified from 105 to 125 tank ammunition, ASP was the only source. And then when we graduated to 155 mm manufacturing, which is the largest caliber with the Indian Army, again ASP was the only source.
So just for the benefit of our viewers, what is this 105, 125 mm? What is that?
It is, you see, we are like, I think we need to clarify that.
Right.
We are manufacturing shells or projectiles for the artillery guns as well as for the tank gun. Now for the artillery, the definition, basically definition of the RT is given by the caliber of the barrel bore, that is the internal bore size of the gun barrel.
Okay.
Because that defines the size of the artillery shell, or in a way defines the projectile's lethal capability, how much high explosive content can go there.
Fine.
So 105 mm artillery gun means that the shell outer dia or barrel internal dia is 105 millimeter. A bigger gun will be 130 millimeter.
Fine.
And still bigger gun will be 155 millimeter, which we popularly, when it got introduced when the country imported the Bofors gun.
Okay.
And 125 is the caliber for the tank gun ammunition, that is with the T-72 and T-90 ammunition.
Okay. 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 So I mean the shell part of it, the steel, the shell steel part of it,
Yes.
has ASP has been the supplier.
Supplier, the regular supplier, and the only supplier for many decades. Now for the last few years we have diversified the supplies because as per the government policy we have to develop more sources, but still SAIL and ASP Durgapur remain our primary suppliers for all variety of steels for artillery shells.
How has been your experience?
Experience has been extremely good, and we found that the ASP has been, and VISL also has been very responsive suppliers, because whenever there was a demand for extra supplies, it happened during Kargil war, they took up the challenge and met our expectations. Whenever there is a demand for change in manufacturing processes or change in packaging conditions, the response has been very quick and very you can say, very responsive.
Fine. Sir, you have talked about the past, let's say the relationship that ordnance factories had with SAIL in general and ASP in particular. Let's focus on the present. First, the challenge that has come, 100% FDI in defense manufacturing. How it is, affect, I should not say affect, how you are gearing up so far the ordnance factories are concerned to this change?
You see, I want to start by saying that that ordnance factories, when they were set up, the basic motto was self-reliance.
Okay.
And therefore the emphasis was to make things within the ordnance factories, and if it is not possible, within India.
Fine.
Imports were not permitted, a strict no.
Mhm.
And I remember in my early stages of my career, if you cannot get anything made, then forget about that you will get through imports, you have to establish it here.
Fine.
The benefit of that approach is that more than 85 to 90% of the products of ordnance factories are made within the country.
Okay.
The true sense made in India, which has been acknowledged by Honorable Raksha Mantri ji in the Rajya Sabha also.
Mm-hmm.
That is now going to help us
Mm-hmm.
because the biggest manufacturing base in the defense industry is with the ordnance factories and its partners and its vendors who have been its long-term vendors. And that is going to keep us in, that's our great competitive advantage, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if the new products are coming, we are, some of the products, ordnance factories are developing flagship products like artillery guns and variants of existing artillery guns, upgraded versions, and that is being inducted by the army. In some cases we have got the orders through competitive bidding. In some cases the trials are there, but we are at number 1 in the trials. So we are very sure that even with the foreign competition, it will enable us to show our strength in a more positive manner.
Okay.
It will create new opportunities for us and along with us to our partners.
If at all, if it is putting any challenge before you, you are considering that to be an opportunity to improve.
Definitely, because competition is always good for human beings and it's good for organizations also, and it will focus us to concentrate more on our strengths, to identify our areas of weaknesses, and to capitalize on our strength.
Now, if we look at the requirement of defense over last couple of years, of course there has been changes in both in particularly in the quality front. Day by day the quality is becoming stringent. Of course your expectation will be more, your requirement will be more. Now, so far alloy steels plants are concerned, they are also changing. They are continuously evolving to cater to your changing requirements. So far these changes are concerned, I mean, catering to the changes of the requirements, evolving changes of evolving requirements of defense, how has been the performance of alloy steel plant? As a customer, how you look at them?
As I said earlier, that whenever you see, for our case, a major challenge comes when we introduce a new product.
Okay.
The new product was 155 mm shell, which was introduced about now 14 to 15 years ago. And a new product introduction is a cycle of 3-4 years, because it's a very, very long process of validation, trials, repeated trials at manufacturing stage, prototype stage, then the bulk production clearance by the customer. So it's a process of 3-4 years. So entry is not so easy. But what we found that another very special requirement for defense is that the quality has to be maintained very high consistently.
Right.
For every consignment there can be no fail, because there are very thorough checks. SAIL has always, and ASP Durgapur has always been at the forefront. There were never any problems. Sometimes the minor problems of production do come up. That the other plus point is that they have been very good to response. For example, the parting of the billets, parting size, and there were certain technical issues where there were differences of opinion, but it has been resolved very, very nicely.
Okay.
And we are extremely happy with the quality and the quantity and everything with the supplies.
No, but like, let me put it in a very blunt way, sir. Okay, you are sourcing materials from ASP,
Yeah.
and as the situation demands, as your requirements are, you are importing also.
Yeah.
Now let's compare. Where do you find the ASP's products, and if something is lagging, what they should do?
We are not importing anything.
Okay.
As I said earlier, in fact, if we take Ordnance Factory Ambajari, our imports out of about 1,000 crore of turnover last year, it's hardly 2-3%.
Okay.
And that too for a specific aluminium extrusion and for a particular component of ammunition which is not in the ASP's range,
Okay.
Durgapur's range. Your
Okay.
products are shells there, the imports are absolutely zero. Whatever the country requires is being produced by ordnance factories.
And the sourcing of the raw materials for
Is
that is also
primarily from ASP, and in some cases it is coming from other sources also.
fine.
But artillery shells, tank ammunition, etc., nothing is being imported.
So it is our privilege that you are visiting Durgapur today,
Yeah.
and people are watching you there in the township.
Yeah.
Now, so for the present is concerned, what's your advice that the ASP should do to improve? Before I embark on the future part, in the present, what ASP should do? What do you think? Of course, there are opportunities for improvement. What do you think, sir?
What I can just, as I shared in the technical seminar today, that our development is also being done by the DRDO. They are
Right.
developing some new type of artillery projectiles where the technical requirements are different
Okay.
and superior,
Okay.
the mechanical strength and all that. And we are trying to achieve that with our existing billets and existing composition because the requirements are very limited.
Fine.
But I anticipate that once this project is successful, maybe we have to go for some new grade,
Okay.
or maybe for certain refinements in the manufacturing processes. But that is too early to say. Maybe the picture will be more clear, say, after a year.
Okay.
When these trials are done, then that will be a good opportunity to improve upon the existing grades as far as manufacturing is
So get set ready for further change.
Yes.
Now, sir, we have talked about the past. We have talked a little bit about the present. Now let us talk about the future. Now, when you look at the future,
Yeah.
of course, alloy steels plant to a large extent is dependent on defense ordnance factories.
Yeah.
What kind of order or the kind of relationship we can look forward to from ASP so far the defense and ordnance factories are concerned?
One thing I can say you is that one thing I want to tell more to our viewers, that is that for our artillery gun Dhanush, which we are going to supply, and we have got the bulk production clearance is expected, and we have got an order for some more guns which are being evaluated by the army at present. We expect this product to come in large numbers in near future.
Okay.
Could be 60, or even our expectation is it could touch even 100 after 3 years.
Okay.
There was a requirement of developing micro alloys, plates of micro alloys, and because there is a requirement in the many structural components are that made of this steel. This particular grade has been developed by your R&D center at Ranchi.
Ranchi, yeah.
And that has helped us because when we got the orders from MOD to produce the first prototype in 12 months time, it could be done because we had got it developed
Okay.
through sale, and we could immediately source it. So this is one thing which will be required in much larger numbers once we pick up the guns. And artillery is a major area for modernization of the army, and the more the guns are required, whoever produces those artillery guns in the country, it will be sourcing that steel from here. As far as our traditional business of projectile is concerned, we expect more demands in larger caliber artillery shells
Okay.
also,
Okay.
and that has a potential to go up by 30 to 40% from present,
Okay.
maybe after 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
And tank, of course, because that comes from Rourkela steel plant. Our armored vehicles army is demanding more, and we expect that even for BMP or for our T90 tanks and other variant of armored vehicle, there is a scope for about 15 to 20% increase there.
So there is a strong focus today in strengthening the defense,
Yes.
and the synergy and the relationship with SAIL, so far the defense requirement is concerned, is going to improve.
Yes.
So if you look at the motto of both ordnance factories and SAIL, it is strengthening the nation. And both of us are walking in the same line.
Yes. I just want to tell the viewers that in the tank, the strength of the tank is its defense also. And the armored steel plates, there is only one source in the country, that's the Rourkela steel plant. There is no import on that. And for this, I mentioned about microalloys and all these special varieties. Naturally, SAIL will be the only source, because for critical products, it is never recommended that one should have many sources.
Okay.
The qualification process is very long and it serves no purpose.
Track record of SAIL is good. Its performance at
yes.
present is good.
Yes.
And you are giving, a kind of an assurance so far the SAIL collective is concerned, so far the future is concerned.
So we will, from the ordnance factories, we will always try to first nurture our existing vendors who have worked with us for the last 50 years. And that should be the main focus, rather than just going to develop large number of new vendors, because it's a very, very time consuming and expensive process.
This is the message which is Mr. Saurabh Kumar is giving loud and clear. Thank you very much once again, sir, for visiting Durgapur and agreeing to come to DSTV and share your thoughts, valuable thoughts and your opinions. And the largest steel collective there in the steel township is watching you.
No, it's my privilege also. I'm extremely happy to be here, and in that place where I am staying, so illustrious people have stayed there. It's a really honor for me.
Thank you very much once again, sir, for joining us here in DSTV. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.